Hey guys, welcome in for another episode of the Power Hour. We have an incredible guest that has blessed us with her presence. She is going to break down exactly what her team is doing to win with through listings. So join us with Rebecca here right after this. Hello, hello. How are you?
Hi there. Thanks for having me. I'm doing good. A little bit under the weather and been struggling with my voice, but I am much better today. So thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. I've got my notepad out and I'm excited to see what you're doing to win over on your side, and it's in an extremely competitive market over there.
Uh, yeah, thank you. Well, I'm excited to share with everyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, just to make sure that everyone knows, introduce yourself, like a little bit about your area, your background, and how we got here today.
All right, awesome. So I am Rebecca Soto. I am a realtor in the Orlando, Kissimmee market, Central Florida, I guess you can say. And I have about 15 years of experience together with my husband. And so primarily we've been a husband and wife team, working throughout the years. In the past 2 years, we've been working at developing our personal team and also growing the organization. So as we continue to grow, we love sharing with everyone, what's been working for us, or even things that we've researched that we're going to embark on and do innovate with and experience. So I'm excited to share with you guys today some of the things that we've been bouncing around with our agents, and things that I think that everyone can take notes and be able to try and implement in their markets as well.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, let's kick it right in. So what's kind of the intro? Like, what's the number one thing that's working for you over there?
So, listen, we're talking about right now, it's been a really tough market. And so we have a shortage of inventory, right? And as we are experiencing this shortage of inventory, what we should be focused on, how can we get more listings, right? And where can I find my next listing? And so a lot of people have decided, well, you know what? I need to just amp up on my listing. So how do I do that? Where do I get started? Before you could even think about how to get listings, we need to think about who is our ideal buyer. Who are you, by the way? As an agent, what are the areas that you want to serve? What is your value proposition? What are you offering to the client that's going to set you apart from the next? The other thing is, how do you get in front of the consumer before they pick that next agent? Most clients or most people will resort to searching for a property online, or all their search always begins online. If you're not prominent online, which is something that you want to work on, by the way, then you need to make sure that you get in front of that consumer first, right? So thinking about what your value proposition, what are you offering, what is your marketing strategy, right? Create a list, 19 points, 20 points, 25 points of what are you offering that client that's going to make them want to list with you, right? The other thing is to set the area. Where are you going to farm? What's your farm? And by the way, what is a farm, right?
Yeah.
So for those people who are new to the industry, farming means that you're going to take an area, right? And traditionally, it's been literally, it could be like a neighborhood, it could be a subdivision, it could be a few subdivisions, right? For us, would be like the Lake Nona area. That encompasses a lot of subdivisions within the community. So you're going to be a community expert, right? So mapping out what that area is, that would be your farm area. Okay. And so you want to know, who are the people who are living in that area? What are they? Young families? Are they older families? Are they, what are the demographics? Where do they work, right? What kind of income do they make, right? You want to know all of these things, right? Excuse me.
Hey, I appreciate you're battling and hey, I love it that you're still overcoming it to be here and add value. Thank you. 'Cause I could tell, like it's yeah.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so, as you think about who those families are, you want to think about, or who those people are. Are they single? Are they married?
Yep.
You want to think about, how can I service them? What are the things that I can do to provide world class service, right? And so, become that neighborhood specialist. Get to know everything about that neighborhood. What are the restaurants that are nearby? What are the, let's say, in the Lake Nona area is known for being medical city. And why is that, right? There's a bunch of different medical facilities, but also we have the universities that have brought their medical uh, campuses to that area. And we also have a 100 court tennis court where all the I forgot what it was called right now, the official name, but it is like the official tennis something. And so, getting to know all these little things about the community helps you to direct all your marketing towards that consumer, to all those people that are interested in that. Are there golf courses? Are there swimming pools? What else is there that's going to attract? And so, all your marketing is going to be designed to speak to that consumer. Oftentimes, I get a lot of people who say, I'm working with a certain type of buyer. How can I break into the luxury market? Well, if you want to break into the luxury market, you need to know who that luxury client is. What are the things that they like? Where do they hang out? Right? And I was listening to, it's funny because I don't like to watch a lot of television, but I do watch the Million Dollar Listers. And although there's a lot of drama on there and there's a lot of unrealistic things that happen, I do listen to, there's like tidbits of truth and things that we can walk away with that can help your business, right? First of all, take a look at how they deal with their clients, right? How they service, even when they're being down talked to, how do they step up and excuse me, defend themselves, or just lay out the extra service that's needed, right? Sometimes you got to put your ego aside. But one of the takeaways that I got from one of them was that they go every year, one of them goes every year to the Kentucky Derby. And I thought, the Kentucky Derby, what's that got to do with real estate, right? Well, being a $1 million lister, and you're listing literally $1 million properties and plus, right? You're working with a certain buyer. And if that buyer is not necessarily, it may come from different areas. Where are those people? So, in thinking about where they are, and personally, I didn't know anything about the Kentucky Derby other than there's horse races, right? Horse races. I did a little research today because I was like, well, so what does it take to go to the Kentucky Derby? Well, the price ticket packages range from about $1,500 to about almost $6,000. So I thought, wow, I imagine that this is where, if you have to be in a certain class point to be able to go there, right? And so, is my next buyer perhaps going there? So if I want to build a database of buyers, where do I need to go? Where do I need to invest so that I can get in the same space with those people, right? I want to network with them, rub elbows with them, because it's in these events that you get to meet them on a personal level, to build a relationship, a rapport, so that you can connect with them. Now, I haven't been to the Kentucky Derby yet. That was a takeaway that I got, that said, you know what? Regardless if it's that, it could be any other type of event or networking opportunities. What I want you to take away with is, go to where that buyer is, right? Where are the buyers coming from in your market? Learn, right? So a lot of the buyers coming into our market are coming from, mostly from the Northeast, right? So it would serve me to go into their space and network with them there, because they may be considering to relocate, right? Many of them are relocating to our, Central Florida area, even into like you're in the Tampa area, Southwest Florida area. I mean, they're coming in droves. So it serves us to get to meet those people because they may be my next buyers. So now, if I have a database of buyers, do you think that would be attractive to my seller? And if he has a high-end property that most people in Orlando, because of our, what do you call it, our um, cost of living, is sometimes it's a little too high for the jobs that are available. Is my buyer coming from somewhere else? So where do I need to go to find them? So if I have that database of those buyers, I tell my seller, hey, I have a database of buyers that I know are going to like your property, and then I'll be able to get your property moving quickly at the price that you want. Would that be more attractive to him? Right? So I think putting yourself in a place where you can build that database of buyers and be able to use that to your advantage as your value proposition to your seller, right? Okay. Let me see.
Sorry, I keep looking down to take notes here because I'm picking the stuff out of here too.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Take plenty of notes. One of my friends mentioned the difference between a contract and a contact is the R. So in the end of it all, the most important part here is building relationships. So now going back to that farm area, so many different ways to, and going back to the whole, what's the word I want to use? The idea of farming where you're planting seeds, right? And as you're planting your seeds, you have to do what next? You gotta water it, right? And that doesn't happen instantly. And you may have the one or two people that are ready right away that connect with you instantly and say, okay, fine, let's do this. And then you're gonna have people that are not ready, right? For different reasons. Credit, or maybe it's just not their time. There's just different things that are going on in their life. And so what you want to have is be building that relationship, getting to know what are the challenges that they have or the things that are stopping them, or maybe it's I forgot the word I want to use. They're waiting for a life experience, right? So maybe as the kids are getting older and they're raising their kids, they love that home. But then later, as the last child goes to college, now they're thinking of downsizing. Or maybe there's a new family who's growing and they need to upsize. Everybody is going through something different. Sometimes it's divorce, sometimes it's death, right? And so we have to be conscious of each person. What are they going through, and how can I serve that client, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not about me and about my flashy record and look at how many properties I have listed and I sold this much. I have $30 million in sales this past quarter. It is not about that. It's not about that. It's about how can I serve my client? What can I do to roll up my sleeves, put on the white gloves, and give them the best service, right? And so, all right. And so the
I
other
think
thing is,
that was like really powerful. So just to recap, you want to identify you want to identify the demographics, where, and then also start to figure out how you're gonna gather their information and build your database.
absolutely, absolutely. So, part of the farming, there's a few different ways to do it. And the most modern way right now is through social media ads, right? You could do ads, you can create a Facebook fan page, you can do like a private group page, a community page. So if there's like a community that you're serving, and you could create a group page just for that community, people who are looking to move into that community, searching, come across it, join your community. And so what kind of information are you offering in that? And you should come from a place of service, a place of giving, right? So again, being that neighborhood expert. So what's coming into town next? Do we have a new Amazon building coming? Is there a new Walmart opening up down the street? What is coming? Sunbridge, Neo City. I mean, there's so many, I'm talking about Central Florida, things that are coming in, but what is coming into your area, your market, that may attract buyers, right? That may attract families, that may attract new business, right? And or let's talk about small businesses that we could support in our area. So that's another way, partnering up with a small business and saying, hey, you know what? I want to help you promote your business. And if I can do that, it would help my business as well. Can we help each other out that way? And then just do a video where you promote their company. So you go into a restaurant, you go into the ice cream shop, you go into the tax guy down the street, and just talk a little bit. Let your consumers know about what services they offer that are right there in your community to help each other out, right? I think when you can position, when you come from a place of service, that positions you as the neighborhood expert, right? And so the other thing I want to be is the connector. So as a connector, I want to have a list of preferred vendors that I work with, people that I know give good service, have good value. And if you don't have a list of preferred vendors, or maybe you just have one or two, create that list. I would say make that the next thing that you do right now is reach out and find out who that painter is, that preferred painter. And you know what? Check out their reviews, right? And we're in a day and age where everybody has reviews online. So check out their reviews, create a list of vendors, you know, that electrician, that plumber, the roofer, and don't limit yourself to just one person. Here's the one guy that I use, because if the one guy is not available, I would say make sure that you got 2 or 3 on that list at least, right? And so if one, because you know what, and this has happened to me personally, by the way, you know, we live in Florida, and in the middle of July, when it's like 100 degrees outside, and it's Friday night on a long weekend, what is the one thing that seems to happen? The freaking AC goes out. And, and then you
Never
need that
fails.
please come. It is so hot in my house. So, you know, if you can be that one person that everyone knows to call, you know what? Call James. James has always a list of people that can help you. They'll come in a hurry. They'll take care of you. Your family won't have to sweat it out for the night. And they can count on you to always have somebody. Or heck, sometimes it's the plumbing. I remember my sister calling one night in the middle of the night. She's like, Rebecca, something happened. There's water coming in from the walls. Well, a pipe burst. And we had to help her and get a plumber out in the middle of the night to help fix that issue. But what happens when you're the connector? When you're that go-to person? When you're that go-to person, you stay top of mind, right? You stay top of mind, and people know that they can count on you. So it helps them to get to know you, like you, and trust you, because people want to work with that. They want to work with someone who they know, like, and trust. So this helps to establish that. So you're the neighborhood expert, that you have your list of preferred vendors, you're that go-to person. And so if you can stay top of mind with people that way through your advertisements, right? Your advertising, your farming, includes door knocking, right? And so with door knocking, there's so many different things that you can approach people with. And I think if it's the first time that you're doing it, there's 2 things as a first timer. Number one, if you're having an open house, I tell you, go 2 to 3 days before that open house and door knock the community. Get to know those neighbors, invite them. Say, you know what? I'm doing a special sneak preview to just the neighbors. So that's one of the things that can help break the ice, because everybody knows that when you do an open house, oftentimes they say, you know, there's just the nosy neighbors that are coming. I invite the nosy neighbors to come. And there's a couple of reasons why. The nosy neighbor knows somebody who he wants to bring into the neighborhood. And you know what? If he doesn't know that, or he doesn't have that, then maybe he's just trying to scope it out so that, you know, maybe he's thinking of selling his property. And if he likes the way you've promoted, the way you've handled your open house and everything that you've put together, do you think he might want to use you? Because that has happened for us. So we give the neighbors the first sneak peek of the property. We tell them, come on over. They get the first full hour to themselves. and then we open it up to the rest of the general public. So I try to make them feel special in that way, and that's what I want to do. Is I want to make people feel special, right? Because at the end of the day, I think that's what's most important. Is like, how can you, if I give them an experience that makes them feel special, they're going to want to use me, or at least that's what I hope, right? So
And just to stick on that, because I think so right now, right, like I'm just listening to the counter dialogue in my own head. So got an open house. The open house hours are going to be from 12 to 2 on Saturday. And I'm going to go there on Thursday and I'm going to knock on the doors of the neighborhood. Knock,
yeah.
knock, knock. They open the door. What do you say there? Like, what is something that, like, what is a good way of an intro to make sure that they're not creeped out, especially like from a female perspective, it might be a little bit easier. For me there, I'd be like, oh my God, this guy's gonna rob me. Oh my God.
Well, that even for myself, I feel that, and I'm going to tell you that's imposter syndrome. Most people are gracious, they open their doors, and sometimes they're a little cautious and they'll just kind of peek out. So what I try to have, first of all, is some kind of I don't have one near me, but like a flyer, right? And I want them, because I want them to know what I'm there for, right? So I come in peace. So I have a flyer. You know what? I'm having an open house. I just want to invite you to come. We're doing a sneak peek just for the neighbors. Did you know your neighbor down the road is selling his house? And so oftentimes neighbors don't always know each other in this day and age. And I'm like, it's okay, don't worry about it. But we're going to let you have the first sneak peek. If you're wanting to come, if you know anybody, I got to put the plug in there here. If you know anyone that's looking to move into the area that you would love to live near you, or hey, maybe you're considering and selling your property, we just invite you to come take a look. No obligation to do anything at all, but you're welcome to come by. So I leave that flyer with them, and so many of them have come.
Beautiful.
Many of them have come. They're like the first ones showing up. So I love doing that. The other thing is, just, hey, let's say you don't have an open house. It's just an introduction. I'm just meeting the neighbors. I want you to know I live down the way, or I'm the neighborhood specialist. I want to leave this with you. Have some kind of flyer, maybe like a little pop by type of gift, something very inexpensive, because to get to a whole neighborhood, it could get a little costly. But listen, it's an investment in your farm, all right? I just wanted you to know I'm here for you. If there's anything that you need, I have a list of vendors. So if your light goes out, not your light, but the water pipe breaks, the AC goes out, or anything, I usually have someone that could come in a hurry. And I just want you to know that. And so here's my information. And so this is a great way to just kind of, you're not coming from a salesy, because nobody wants to be sold to, right? So they open the door a little on the defensive side, expecting you to sell them on something. But when you're just telling them, hey, I'm the neighborhood specialist, I just want to get to know you. And if you ever need help, I'm here. That's different, right? I mean, you can't get offended about that. Okay, yeah, thank you, I'll take that. And then walk away with it. Or they might even just tell you, leave it there. And that's okay too. We'll have it in a baggie so that it feels a little sanitary for them, right? But you can get very creative with that. But that's just one way. And then you want to be able to kind of keep coming by from time to time, so that you become a familiar face, right? And so you can do that through events. So if there's local events going on, neighborhood events particularly, like now coming up is a great time for fall festivals. A lot of communities are having it, and hopefully we're getting back to a time where we're a little open, or you can organize your own, right? So one of the ones that I think are pretty interesting are the drive-through type of events that people have been doing, where they just have things available right from the trunk of their car. You don't even have to get out, and you're just kind of passing off stuff. I mean, it's the world that we live in. You have to embrace it. It is what it is. But I've seen, what is it called? I've been wanting to do one, the trunk or treat, right? So you can line up cars, different vendors, different people, whoever wants to participate in the trunk or treat, and it could be in the parking lot of like a neighborhood shopping center, or just any place where you can line up the cars. You can decorate the cars, be dressed up, be festive, right? Have fun with it, and just be giving out little goodie bags of treats to the people who come by your trunk or treat, right? So I think if you look, I like to Google ideas. So you just Google, you can come up with so many different ideas of different events. So if there are no events in your community, create the event, right? And speaking of creating events, another event that seems to be popular right now is doing online master classes. So once you have your farm area and you've got, you know, a database of names, phone numbers, emails, whatever, inviting them, or even through postcards, invite them to your online master class, right? Or even through Facebook ads and that kind of thing. So your master class could be either a seller presentation or seller seminar, or a buyer class, right? So depending on what you want to offer the community, you can get very creative and just do it online. So there's minimal expenses because you don't have to have a venue, and you don't have to have food and things like that normally we would have at these events. It's all online. And of course, at the end of that, you would have to have a strong call to action so that they can connect with you and pick you up for your services. I think if you're always coming from a place of service, listening to people and what they need, and then speaking to those needs and those challenges, right? You're going to cultivate those buyers and those sellers that you need. And to me, I do both. So although I'm talking about getting listings here particularly, but what's attractive to your seller are having buyers. So you got to go for both. You can't just be so one-sided. Now, what if I only want to do the listings? No problem. I can always refer the buyers to someone else and still make money, right? So if you have a team, that's great. If you don't have a team, you can still refer it out. That's still money, right?
Yeah.
So don't be afraid of getting more business than you can handle. I've heard that from people. They're afraid to get out there because they think they're going to get so much business they can't handle. And I'm like, bring it on, bring it on. If I can, I'm going to refer it out because I can't do it all myself, right? But if I refer the business out, I'm still making money. So we're all making money, right? We're all helping each other. And that makes me feel good. If I can help someone else to also make money, that to me is the best, because
Yep.
now we're helping each other out. We're helping build each other. I'm helping my family. I'm helping your family, helping this family here. So it's just a good feeling altogether. So I don't know. Have I given you any value so far?
I've got 5 pages. I got these little sticky notes. I've got 5 pages sitting in front of me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Bueno, uh, I don't know what else to add to that.
I think you kind of crushed it. I mean, so just for anybody that just jumps on here late, is the first thing is identify where you want to go. The Everything is prefaced with the idea of contribute, right? So once you identify your neighborhood, know the demographics, and know what that target looks like. Is it somebody who works at a hospital? Is it the luxury market? And once you go into that, think about the ways in which you could add value to that particular demographic. And then follow that up with several different ways to contribute. Have your list of experts that you can refer them to. If they're coming to you, if you see 10, 20, 30 different transactions a year, you're going to see lots of repairs that get made by lots of different people, and the good ones and the bad ones. So have that list, and along with that, build up your database, your repertoire. You can do it through online lead generation. You can do it through knocking on doors prior to an open house, or just knocking on doors because you have a listing in the area. And if you rewind back in this video after it's already done, Rebecca actually walked us through a really good script there, and come in with something that's on paper, and you can start out with that as a peace offering. Because I'm like, oh God, a beard. Does he have a gun? Is he gonna hurt me? Is like the fear, right?
There's nothing better than having on like a team shirt, right? Something that says realtor. I always tell my agents, put on, if you got the realtor hat, the mask even, because some people are a little put off. There you go. Have something that identifies you, that people from the little peek hole, it can't be small. If they're looking through a peek hole, they need to see realtor, And so I think this is like the easiest way. And I wanted to make a couple little things that just came to mind. When you do the door knocking, it's not just to door knock and leave. It's or leave a business card or a flyer. It's literally knock on the door, make sure if they open it, have a conversation with them, because if they don't have a conversation, there's not a high chance that they're going to actually come or connect with you. It's really kind of wasted paper on your end. But not to say that if they don't open the door, you can't leave the flyer, but just make sure that you're actually door knocking and trying to have these meaningful conversations with people.
Heck yeah. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to come from like hardcore prospecting on like when I first started out. So the whole point of that is, right, you might make 200 phone calls to get one face-to-face interaction. And the point of that interaction is to build a relationship so that you can move forward, whether it's today or 10 years from now. You build that
Right?
relationship so you can be that person. And this is a great opportunity to go out and show value to your seller, show value to the other resident in the neighborhood, and invite them to maybe have their sister that's been waiting to come into the neighborhood to have a jump start on the listing. That's a
Exactly.
beautiful plan to build relationships.
Exactly. And one thing I didn't mention also was building that online presence. So a lot of people that have come to us says, I got referred to you by so and so. And before I called you, I looked you up online. What are people seeing when they look you up online, right? Is it good? Does it look professional? Are you speaking the language that you work in real estate, or are you just there for friends and family? So now, not to say that you can't put personal stuff on your social media. I think you should, because it lets people get to know who you are, but you definitely should also share, the good, the bad, the ugly, or the beautiful of what this industry is. Sometimes it could be just pouring value, right? So sharing maybe a challenge that one of your clients had and how you overcame it, right? So whether that's on the buy side or the list side, sharing those stories helps other people, because you think that someone else might be going through that and might connect with you and say, oh, she knows exactly what to do with that person, and that's what I was going through, I want to talk to her, right?
Exactly.
So if you are sharing value like that on your social media, then this is going to help them to make a quick decision when they see your successes, when they see you with the buyers or the sellers at the closing table, happy that they finally got to the end of the road on this one. And or that happy new homeowner just signing a new home construction contract and just dreaming of that home when it's built out. And so sharing stories about people like that help others to decide whether they want to use you or not. So make sure that your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, all of it is showing, and that you show up on Google, Google Business, because people are going to Google your business. So make sure that you're seen and that you have reviews. Ask for the reviews.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rebecca, you crushed it. Like, absolutely crushed it. I appreciate you being here and breaking this all down. I've got a lot for me to soak on, and I hope the people watching got some value out of it as well. And if they didn't, they probably didn't watch it. It was
Well,
like
if
every
you want
10 seconds.
to take some notes, yeah, take some notes, because this is good stuff.
Oh,
Well, thank
man.
you for having me.
Awesome. Absolutely. So, you got a busy day the rest of the day?
I am trying to take it a little easy. I'm working out of my home office today, working on some marketing, so stuff that doesn't require too much of my voice.
Well, you rest up, and I appreciate you being here, and I can't wait to do it again sometime soon.
Thank you. Thank you, James. Have a good day.
All right.
Bye.